Alright, testing. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who needs to hear this, but school basements should be illegal. School, basement, those words should never be in the same sentence. But I guess the architect for my elementary school went downstairs and said, "Yep, this is where we'll feed the kids lunch." Homie looked at the blueprints and thought, yes, nothing says nourishment like concrete walls and bad lighting. Our cafeteria was downstairs, in the basement. It felt like the Conjuring house. I mean, lunch ladies, angry ghosts, what's the difference? One swinging a ladle while the other one swinging from a ceiling. And this basement had stories, like whispered urban legends passed down by older kids who survived it. Don't go near the janitor's closet. Don't use the last stall in the bathroom. Don't stare too long into the mirror or you'll see yourself, but older. It wasn't just spooky, it was psychological warfare for kids under 10. Let's start with the basement boys' bathroom. That place had a weird energy, like it was holding on to secrets. And unfortunately, that was the bathroom closest to my 3rd grade classroom. There was another bathroom on the 3rd floor, but it was like a 20-minute walk from us. And the teacher wouldn't let us be gone from class for that long. So we had to swallow our pride and go to the basement. Every trip down there felt less like a bathroom break and more of a survival mission. The stairwell, straight out of a horror movie. Flickering fluorescent lights, water-stained walls, and a ceiling tile just hanging on like it had a family to feed. If you didn't hear a pipe clanging or a ghost whispering, "Leave," were you even in our school? I remember one day I had to go bad. I made the trek downstairs, push open the doors, and instantly regretted it. First off, it was cold. Like, why does it feel like January in here? It was May. Second, the lights were on, but just barely. One bulb kept buzzing like it was seconds away from blowing up. And the echo in there, insane. You could sneeze and hear it bounce back like 3 times. Achoo, choo, choo, choo. Sounded like the freaking little engine that could. And when I'm in there, the stall next to me creaked. But the whole bathroom was empty. I looked under and saw no feet. My brain hit the freaking Windows XP error sound. And then, I swear, I heard what sounded like a scream. Not a loud one, just a distant, echoey, high-pitched ah. And that sent every hair on my neck into witness protection. Oh, I run out of there. Then, there's the janitor's closet. My school's janitor closet was the most mysterious thing in the entire building. It was always closed, which somehow made it worse. It was just enough to let your imagination spiral. And the smell, Windex, old metal, and regrets. Nobody ever saw the janitor go in or out. Not once. I bet he was scared of it too. Oh, hell nah. I remember one time I dared my friend Kevin to open it. You know, that one kid who acted brave until something actually happened. He told us he could handle it. Said it unlocked the portal of secrets. He walks up, grabs the doorknob, and it's locked. He starts shaking it. Kevin, see? Nothing. Bang! A second later, we hear the loudest noise from the inside. We scream, like high-pitched horror movie scream. And Kevin jumps back like the doorknob bit him. And to this day, he swears that he turned it on his own. Something was gonna come out. Now, do I think he was lying? Yeah. But did that stop me from sprinting back to class? Not even a little. We were ready to call everybody. The Ghostbusters, the mystery gang, my mom. I need the nurse. I'm not even hurt, but I need the nurse. And from that day on, the janitor's closet became completely off limits. It was our school's Area 51. Except instead of aliens, it was mops. Or maybe both. Now look, if that closet ever swung open, I was ready to throw hands or a chair. But the one thing I didn't have back then was backup. I couldn't rely on Kevin. So that's where my plushie comes in. Oh, he would have came in clutch. He's available on my website at horchatasoto.com. Hats, hoodies, t-shirts, and my favorite, the plushie. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You get the plushie for free when your order is over $100. Yes, sir, you heard that right. That way, if you ever get stuck in a creepy basement again, you won't be alone. So again, check out the merch at the website and the link in the description. It means so much if you supported your boy and showed off your storytelling skills. Anyways, let's get back to the story time. Let's talk about that cafeteria. Cause like I mentioned at the start of the video, my school cafeteria was in the basement of the school. Now, I've been to birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese. I've seen chaos. But nothing compares to lunch in a pit full of elementary schoolers running on pizza and milk at 11 a.m. Our cafeteria had no windows. Just these yellow tinted lights that buzzed like they were powered with fear. And the tables? Those long foldable ones with attached benches that creaked. But to lighten the mood, some of the craziest debates would happen there. If you had to fight a 5-year-old Mike Tyson and each time he'd spawn back he'd be 1 year older, how old would he be until he won? And then, this one time during a lunch period, the lights cut, power went out, and instant darkness. There was a pause of silence for half a second, and then pure unfiltered chaos. Kids start screaming like the walls were caving in. Every man for himself! Another kid just started barking like Speed. Someone threw a tomato. The school doesn't even serve those. You'd think we were being attacked by basement zombies. And I'll admit, I was frightened. I thought that was it. And my friend Mark crawls under the table like if we're in a tornado drill. The ghosts are coming. The lunch ladies, gone. Vanished. I don't know if they dipped the second the lights went out or if they became one with the darkness. Either way, we were unsupervised in the scariest room of the school during a blackout. And just when things couldn't get any worse, bang! Something metal falls in the kitchen behind the counter. Probably a pan, but in the dark, that was death approaching. Every head turned. And somebody whispered, "It's the lunch tray ghost." And then 30 seconds later, the lights came back. It got quiet again, but that aftermath was intense. Tables covered in spilled milk, kids mid-scream, mid-bite, mid-trauma. Was that real? Mark's still under the table, and a janitor walks by the hallway like nothing happened. Maybe he's seen worse in that closet. But what I do know is that no school basement should have that much trauma. And the wildest part, we still went down there every day for lunch. Like we were brave, but man, why couldn't we eat outside? And then there was Gabriel. Sit down for this story, ladies and gentlemen. Gabriel was my best friend for like a week and a half. You know how elementary school friendships work. All it took was one shared joke or a cool pencil, and boom, you're brothers for life. We'd trade lunches, shared who we liked in class, and we even thought of a fun video game idea. But then one day during class, Gabriel asked to use the bathroom. And unfortunately for him, the one nearby was the basement bathroom. He goes, we're still in class. And 10 minutes go by. Then 20. Then 30. I look at the clock like I'm trying to solve a crime. Where's Gabriel? I remember whispering to my friend, should we tell the teacher? Nah, maybe he just had a bad stomach. It's the basement bathroom. I'm scared. True. Eventually, the teacher does notice. Wait, where's Gabriel? Everybody looks around like we hadn't just collectively ignored the fact that bro vanished mid-math worksheet. We checked the hallway. Nothing. We checked the cafeteria. Nothing. And the basement bathroom? Lights were off and no Gabriel. At that point, we all started whispering the same theory. He got lost in the basement. The school took him. He looked in the mirror too long. They ended up calling his name on the intercom. And finally, nearly 45 minutes after he left, Gabriel just strolls back into class, sweating like he just did P90X. Dude, are you good? Man, I walked to the 3rd floor bathroom. What? Remember at the beginning when I mentioned that the school had a second bathroom, but it was like 20 minutes away? Well, Gabriel did a marathon to that one. There was no way I was going to the haunted basement one. How was it? I think the 3rd floor one is more haunted. I saw something. The next day, Gabriel didn't show up. He didn't show up at all for that week. Not for class, not for recess, nothing. We asked the teacher what happened. Oh, he transferred schools. Transferred? In the middle of the year without saying goodbye? Not gonna lie, that answer felt way too vague. No one ever saw him again. No goodbye, nothing. That feels pretty haunted if you ask me. Like, what did he see in that 3rd floor bathroom? And you know what? I still think about Gabriel. Not because I think something bad happened, but because if anybody was going to unlock the secrets of the creepy school, it was definitely gonna be him. Or maybe he did move and transfer schools. I don't know. But still, that basement is responsible for a lot of eerie moments. Clink! Clink, clink, clink! Yes, sir. Thank you for watching. Also, I'm going to be at VidCon Anaheim later next month. So if you're there, I would love to see you, as I'll also be having a merch booth. And speaking of merch, again, get it at horchatasoto.com. So make sure to subscribe and comment below the creepiest part of your school. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!